Okay. Hello, everyone, and hello, teacher. We are gonna explain English accents and regional variations. My group are for Laura Cristina, Victoria Iona, and me. Um, the first topic that I'm gonna explain is the four important regions, cities in Canada, right? The first region is Quebec, Montreal. Main French-speaking region, Quebec is French, has more racing and melodic intonation compared to European French because it's a European predominant, right? And Ontario is predominantly English-speaking and multicultural. Canadian English here tends to sound more neutral and format with clear intonation. Immigration influenced interesting variations in rhythm and accents in comparison to English in Toronto or Vancouver. This is another city of the Canada. And another city is British Columbia, is the region of Vancouver. Western Canadian English intonation is often flatter and more relaxed, less marked than Eastern in Canada, influenced by West Coast American English like Seattle or California. And the last one region is Atlantic Canada in the region Nova Scotia. Atlantic Canada um, is had a English with a more rhythmic and sing-song intonation, a strong historical influence from Irish and Scottish English. Noticeable variations.
Okay, now we're going to talk about some main sounds in Canadian English. So, first of all, we have Canadian rising. So, in the vowels, for example, in the word right, that it's I, the diphthong I, and about sound a bit higher before voiceless consonants. For example, the word right is different from the right, and about it's different the pronunciation too. We have the Canadian shift that is usually common in younger speakers. We have the Canadian shift in with short vowels that move back in the mouth. For example, we have tap vowel, the diphthong E, in sounds lower and backer. The stressed vowel E that sounds closer to E, and kid vowel E sounds closer to E. Also, we have environmental reflections that is fronting of U and U, and words like goose and goat are said more to the front of the mouth. An example is goose. In the next part, we have consonants. We have flapping, like D and D sound the same as the R between vowels. So we have also glottal, like T can be a glottal stop, like in kitten. And we have erotic consonants that Canadian always pronounce R, like car. In the intonation, we have the stress time rhythm, like in American English, and younger Canadians often use a rising tone at the end of the sentence that is called uptalk. An example of these um, main sounds in Canadian English, we have this video.
You can tell if somebody has a Canadian accent. Like me. Number one, words that have OUT in them. This includes words like out, about, outside, without. And I know that that's a pretty stereotypical thing for Canadians, but a lot of non Canadians get it wrong. It's not oot and about, it's out, out and about. This comes from something called Canadian raising. Basically, the sound, which if you are an American is out, out, has risen in place of articulation in the Canadian mouth to sound more like out, 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 get out, get out. Get out. Another feature of Canadian raising is the pronunciation of IGHT. This results in Canadian words like light and night and flight and bright. Americans, conversely, would say night, night, light, bright. It's even sounding weird to me. Like, do Americans actually say that? Either way, thanks to Canadian raising, we have lifted the place of articulation in the mouth and we say things like light. Please turn out the light. The third way to tell if somebody is Canadian is by their use of the word sorry. Canadians have been mistaken for being overly apologetic, but when we say sorry, we're not really apologizing. In fact, we often use the word sorry in place of excuse me. So if we're in the store and you're standing in front of the apples, instead of me saying, oh, excuse me, I would probably be like, sorry, can I get to the apples? Oh, thanks. Also, if I'm interrupting you, I would probably use the word sorry instead of excuse me. Sorry, so-and-so is here to see you. This pronunciation is also in contrast to the American way to apologize, which is sorry. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, can I get by? Sorry, let me just squeeze past you there. And the last one. This is a telltale sign for me to know if somebody is Canadian. The word is the capital city of my home province, Ontario. Take a moment, say it out loud. Most people from around the world would read this as Toronto, but we don't say it like that. In fact, we would say Toronto. Toronto, I'm going out tonight in Toronto. We do this by taking away the first O in the word. It just is gone. And then instead of Toron, we get Tron. Tron. And then that second T at the end, also gone. It can join the O. See you later. We don't need ya. Toronto. Toronto. Now, there are some really tried and true Canadians, especially those who are over the age of like maybe 65, who would say Trona. Want a Trona. But I don't know anybody my age who actually says Trona in an unironic way. For context, I live about 40 minutes away from Toronto. I have friends who live in Toronto. I have gone to Toronto pretty frequently. Now watch, I'm going to get some Toronto citizens who say, no, it's Toronto, 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 Toronto. Hey, sorry, you want to go out tonight? You want to go to Toronto? Is there anything I've missed? Leave them in the comments below. Except don't leave A. I know we say A, but most people don't use it right anyway. What's going on, A? No, that's wrong. Nobody says that. Follow me for more facts about languages and linguistics.
Now we're gonna see some vocabulary differences. So, for example, in Canada, we say washroom instead of restroom. Instead of say sneakers or trainers, we say runners. Instead of say napkins, we say serviette. Instead of say soda, we say cup. Instead of say public transportation, it will be transit. Instead of say grades, it's marks. Instead of say college, will be university. And instead of say ice cream shop, we will say dairy bar. And also we have some examples between the difference in Canada and United States.
Soda. Hop. Take a test. Write a test. Cigarettes. Smokes. Bathroom. Washroom. Parking garage. Parkade.
Oh, you want to learn more? The link is in the pinned comment.
Now we're gonna talk about the social and cultural insight. The difference in Canadian English exists because of history and culture. Canada keeps some British spelling like color instead of color and center instead of center. But because of the influence of the United States, Canadians also use words like elevator instead of the British lift. French also has an impact, especially in Quebec, where many French words are used in daily life. For example, we got dépanneur, a small convenience store. In addition, Canada's multicultural population introduced new expressions for immigrant communities, which makes the language more diverse.
Finally, we have a little reflection about that because we think that Canadian English is fascinating and diverse, influenced by a mix of cultures and linguistic contexts. Although it shares many similarities with American and British English, like we already know that. It has it also had its own unique characters from pronunciation to vocabulary and grammar. These peculiarities are due to combination of factors, such as the influence on indigenous language, immigration, and Canadian colonial history. Um, we have to visit Canada because it's a beautiful country. And that's it. Thank you for um, see the presentation. Have a lovely night, teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you.